Remington. Come on. Are you serious, bro? First, for anyone new to the channel, let's give a little bit of background. I spent multiple months trying to perfect a cookie dough recipe. After 20 cookie dough recipes using multiple, I perfected said cookie dough recipe and it got a ton of views for the amount of subscribers that I had, got great engagement and got great reviews. I posted that video on November 30th. A few weeks ago, when Remington posted a cookie dough recipe story on his Instagram, I could not get through more than 1 or 2 DMs without saying, did Remington hit you up? Remington's making a cookie dough recipe. Did he call you? Did he text you? Did he ask you about it? Did he tell you what was going on? Do you guys talk? Etc. Then the video dropped and the comments started to roll in. And people started tagging me and asking me about it. I would just like to clear the air. Before we get into any of this, I want to start off by saying I do not think that I own the rights to anabolic cookie dough or low calorie cookie dough or protein cookie dough and that no one else can make it and it's all mine and mine's the only one that should be out. I do not think any of that. I think everyone should be able to post whatever they want, but there are a few rules that I do think should go along with that. Now, I think we should start here. What is actually stealing a recipe? In my opinion, it's hard to say exactly. Everyone's definition of stealing, taking, being guilty of, not guilty of, is very different. And let's be real, almost every single recipe on this planet has already been made, remade, made over again. So technically everyone's copying each other. However, there are some tweaks for each recipe to recipe that you can use to completely change the taste of a recipe and make it your own. I've talked with a few other creators about this over the last few months, and I would say, in my opinion, if you change a couple of the key ingredients or have different amounts of the other ingredients with those couple of changes, that constitutes not actually stealing a recipe. Now, if you post a video with a recipe and give no recognition to the person that created it, even though you know in the back of your mind that you got it from somebody, and every ingredient and amount is the same, you stole the recipe. I mean, let's be real, you stole the recipe. Also, in my opinion, stealing a recipe can also be an idea. So, let's say me and a friend are talking on Instagram or on Facebook or texting, and I say, hey, I wanna make a cookie dough recipe. I think it would be awesome, it would do great. That person goes, oh yeah, that's a great idea, you know, you should do that. And then 3, 4 days, a week later, that same person puts out a recipe that was your idea a week ago. That's taking someone's idea, knowing that you're going to put it up, and then taking it for themselves and putting it up themselves and trying to take your idea and your views from you, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. To see if Remington actually stole my recipe, let's put my ingredient list up and we'll put my ingredient list up again and we will replace the stuff that he put in. I used light butter, he used sunflower butter. I used whole eggs, he used egg whites. I used Swerve, both brown sugar and granular sugar. He just used sweetener. We both used vanilla extract. We both used whey protein. We both used salt. And I used a lot more flour, but we both used flour as well. And obviously we both used chocolate chips for a chocolate chip cookie dough. Now there are only so many things you can substitute to try and make a cookie dough. So in my opinion, just the swapping of the sunflower butter for real butter makes it a completely different recipe. Joe Duff, I've never talked to him, but a year ago, I made his cookie dough recipe because I had a hankering for cookie dough. I wanted to see if I can make cookie dough and still eat it while on a diet. And while it tasted very good, the taste itself is very good, It does not taste to me like an actual cookie dough. So my goal when I made mine, having that in mind and having all you guys requested on Instagram, so trying to live up to those expectations, I wanted it to taste exactly like the store-bought cookie dough. Joe Duff's is good, but it doesn't taste the same as cookie dough. I would expect, I haven't eaten Remingtons, I would expect, since it's a sunflower butter base, that it will still taste good, but it's not gonna have that actual cookie dough flavor. So that just in itself tells me he did not steal my recipe, along with a bunch of the other things that he either swapped out or did differently. That tells me the answer to him actually stealing my recipe is no. But there's another part to this. Did he take the idea from me to make a cookie dough recipe and put one out himself? Let's go over the reasons why he did not first. One, he has done cookie dough before. He has cookie dough balls, he has a healthy cookie dough, and he also has cookie dough protein bars. So he is not a stranger to having cookie dough recipes on his channel. What's to say that he didn't already have this on his docket, since it's been a while since he made a cookie dough recipe to make in the first place? I have no idea. As a viewer, I think you guys should know that we do have like notes, and I've never asked him, I never asked other people, but we have a note in our phone or that we write down full of recipes that we want to make, because we can only make so many and put them on video and edit them and get them up. So maybe he had it already in his notes to do this recipe. Very well could be possible. On top of that, he puts out three recipes almost every single week, cranking recipes out. So eventually you're going to get to the point where you have to go back and either remake a recipe because you think you can improve it, or you do it slightly differently, like cookie dough balls versus cookie dough protein bars, or that old video, you didn't have many subscribers, the video quality wasn't good, and you just want to remake the video, which I can see as well, and is completely understandable. Now, of course, you want to keep the variety of the channel up, so maybe he was at the point where he said, I want to do a cookie dough recipe, and once again, it was already on his docket, so he did it. Now, the reasons why he potentially did take the idea from my recipe. We will start with this. I don't think much more needs to be said, but I will break this down a little bit further and make it a little bit easier to understand. One, Remington's smart. He has been doing YouTube for, I think, 4 or 5 years now. You learn so much. I just started doing this about 1.5 years ago, and I have learned so much over that year, and I thought I was so smart when I first started. I have grown immensely in both my editing, my filming, the way I like to approach videos, my sequence of videos. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this, and you learn over time. He knows that my video was doing very well. He could see that. It had almost 200 likes on the comment that he posted on my wall for that video. By far, that's like the most likes on any comment ever on any of my videos. He knew that it would be a good idea to make a cookie dough recipe just based off the amount of likes and views and reviews that my cookie dough was getting. For my channel, the views and reviews were substantially higher than any other video that I've ever created. So if he's getting the same amount of views that I'm getting for his subscriber count, and he's getting all these new visitors to his channel, that's helping him get ad revenue, helping him sell his cookbook, and helping him overall just being seen by more people. YouTube is a snowball effect. You keep making videos, they're on YouTube, random people watch you. I just had someone on my Paisans review DM me yesterday and tell me he just found me from my Paisans video, which has under 1,000 views, and which I never would have expected someone to tell me that at this point. You see a video getting good views, you make another video on it, slightly changing it, and you get views. Simple as that. It's kind of like when I review recipes. If I see a recipe doing really well, and I wanted to try that recipe, of course I'm gonna make a video on it. Not only do the people that watch those videos wanna know, is it actually good or not, and they want that review, but I wanna know if I can add it to my arsenal and use it in my diet, and I know if it's getting good views that I will get good views based on his video getting good views, because people are searching it, people are curious, people want to know if it's actually worth making. The worst thing ever is to spend an hour or two in the kitchen. You have all these dishes, you finally sit down, you're about to eat, you have a week's worth, especially if you meal prep it, and you eat it, and it's okay or it's not good at all. So people want to see the reviews. Is it good or is it not? And not only that, it helps not only me, but him. Yeah, I'm using the clout from him to get some views, but you don't know how many numerous people have DM'd me and said, thanks for making that review. I found Remington through you. I found Greg through you, which I would have never expected that to happen in the first place. And then you end up having a web where everyone gets subscribers from each other for shouting people out and for reviewing their either cookbook, their training, their videos, doesn't matter. That's how you find different people. To top it off, he says he's never really had luck with his cookie dough recipes in the past. That was November 30th. He posted a cookie dough recipe on December 30th that was perfected, that he thinks is super tasty and that he wanted to put out. Coincidence? Could be. I'll leave that up to you. You guys can decide. Let me know in the comments section. With all that being said, there is zero problem with him making a cookie dough recipe a month later. Does not bother me whatsoever. People should be able to make whatever recipe they want at any time that they want. In my opinion, if you get inspiration from a recipe though, you should shout them out in that video. I think that's just the respectable thing to do. Now here's what kind of bothered me. We are all in the same anabolic community. It is a small, tight-knit community. It's an ever-growing community, but there is a certain, I don't know, 20 or 30 people in this community, and all of the people that have been following the community have been very supportive of it. Almost all positive comments. Of course, there's gonna be some negative Nancy's in every comment section, but for the most part, everyone's very supportive of all the recipes, and I think it should be the same way for creators. At the end of the day, we all have the same goal. Either to help people with their fitness or nutrition or both, and have them live a happier and healthier life. And on my channel, I have countless reviews of Remington's recipes where I shout him out on everything, multiple times a video. Go check out Remington if you haven't already. He's been putting out straight bangers. Go check out Remington's page. He deserves it. He deserves all the follows that he gets. I approve. Remington, put out another banger. Remington is just steady putting out bangers. And every time that I think of him when I'm recording another video, I mention his name too. And on top of it, almost all of these reviews have been extremely positive. While researching his old cookie dough videos, funny enough, and the irony in all of this, is that he used to review recipes himself.
So if you hit that like button, I appreciate it, and thank you guys so much. Comment below with ideas for future recipes you'd like to see me try. I don't really invent these myself. I find recipes elsewhere, I make them, and then I try them, and then I give you guys an honest gauge of what I really think about them. So nothing's off the table unless it includes banana. Why did I say that funny?
So the healthy protein cookie dough that he has up, he says Michael Corey made this recipe. I copied it exactly from him.
Shout out to, before I even taste this, to Michael Corey. I took the recipe straight from his YouTube channel.
I know he used to give shout outs. This was 3.5 years ago. And I think that's the right thing to do, especially because he copied the exact recipe and said, this is his recipe. Would I have put it in the title? Probably, but I still think he did his due diligence by saying it in the video. And the fact that he also used to review recipes, he knows the grind of trying to get higher and higher on the YouTube ladder for more people to see you so you get more subscribers. He knows how hard these things are, and I would just expect for him to just give a little 10-second shout out. Nick made a banger of a recipe. You should check out his channel if you want to make his, but I tried to make an even better recipe myself. That's it. One name drop, 4 seconds. It doesn't take much, and honestly, we've had conversations on Instagram through the DM, especially when he reviewed my review of his deep dish recipe. We got to talk a little bit that day, and I would never divulge what we talked about, But just based on our conversation, I was like, dude's a good dude. Dude's a cool ass dude. I expected when I saw that cookie dough story, I told everyone that messaged me, he's gonna probably say something in the video. I think he's gonna say something in the video. Unfortunately, he did not. I am actually in the middle of making 3 different chicken recipes. I was inspired to make these different variations of fried chicken recipes, which the recipe is completely different, besides obviously using chicken breast, from Remington's. But I was still going to say that his video and doing that review gave me the inspiration to do so. In all of the recipes that I created, always shouting him out, which I always do. And like I said, it was just a thing that a mutual respect, I thought that that's what he would do in this video. And above all, even in my cookie dough recipe video, I made a reference to him. If I've ever wanted to Remington ham, this is the time. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right. Yeah, I mentioned him helming, but his name was still in there. You hear a name, you look it up, you find him. You know, it all goes in a snowball effect. In short, I do not think that Remington stole my recipe. However, I do think that he got the idea to make another cookie dough recipe from my video. That's just my thought. I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot more than Greg is wrong. So I could be very well wrong about this. But I do think that he was like, wow, this is a great video. I am going to try a recipe myself. And I do not hate him. I'm not trying to badmouth him. He works his tail off. 3 recipes a week, editing his own videos, shooting his own videos, the B-roll, everything that goes into it, the thumbnails, everything is hard, takes a long time. He is an absolute grinder and I respect the shit out of him for that. I just felt like a simple name drop would have been cool. Once again, let me know what you think in the comment section. And it would be awesome if you made his cookie dough and made my cookie dough, put them side by side and let me know a comparison, what you thought of the two. If this is the first time you're seeing my channel, please subscribe. And if you haven't checked out Remington's channel, go check his channel out as well. Still support him, still think that he's a beast on YouTube, still think he does his damn thing. I just wish I had a little bit more love. But until next time, I will see you in that next one. Deuces.